Welcome to Central News. I'm Hilary Entwistle. In today's news, facilities operated by Waikato District Health Board, including Waikato Hospital in Hamilton, have been recertified for 3 years following an organisation-wide audit which started in December last year. The auditors are now satisfied that action plans put in place after the audits will address improvement requests and issued the certificate last week. Chief Operating Officer Jan Adams says while there was a lot of work involved in the audit, it was important to do it so the public could be assured patient safety and quality improvement was a priority at Waikato DHB. People who work and play on Waikato's waterways are being urged to spend winter learning the new navigation safety rules, which came into effect on the 1st of July. Waikato Regional Council's Navigation Safety Program Manager, Nicole Botherway, says harbour masters spoke to some people last summer who had bought a vessel but hadn't taken the time to learn the rules before going out on the water. As a result, some of them had very near misses that could very easily have ended in tragedy. The Navigation Safety Bylaw adopted by the Regional Council impacts recreational activities including powerboating, kayaking, yachting, jet skiing and swimming. Mrs Botherway says the bylaw aims to improve safety for all people using the region's popular inland and coastal waterways. Police are praising a Katikati woman for her actions after she became lost in the dark for hours in dense bushland in the Kaimais on Sunday. The 71-year-old woman had set out for a 1-hour bushwalk from Aonga Titi Lodge in Katikati around 2 p.m. on Sunday when she mistakenly left the track and became lost. Acting Senior Sergeant Phil Gilbanks says police received a call for assistance from the woman via cell phone around 4:25 p.m. Police search and rescue and local land search and rescue teams were deployed to Aonga Titi Lodge to find the woman, who was able to maintain intermittent cell phone coverage throughout the search. The Tauranga-based Trustpower Tech rescue helicopter was called in equipped with a police SAR member and paramedics on board. Pilot Liam Brett-Kelly says helicopter staff used night vision equipment to locate the woman, who used the light on her cell phone to guide the rescue helicopter to her location. Now for our region's weather. Hamilton, your Wednesday will be raining, but it will ease to showers in the afternoon. Your expected high is 11 and an overnight low of 2. Tauranga, you too will have rain that eases to showers in the evening. There will be a developing southwesterly. Your expected high is 12 and an overnight low of 2. Just ahead, closing the gap on inequality in New Zealand. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Many argue that the gap between the haves and have-nots is widening in New Zealand. A new book has been released about inequality in New Zealand. I spoke with Closing the Gap to find out if this really is at crisis point. So Peter, tell us about this new book, Inequality in New Zealand in Crisis.
Well, I think it's probably should be one of the most important books that's been written in New Zealand in recent years. It's about levels of inequality in New Zealand and the consequences of that. It's written by, in fact, 28 different people. There are 14, including Max Rashbrook, who's a journalist, who wrote the first couple of chapters and also edited the whole thing. And then 13 other New Zealanders, not all of whom live in New Zealand, but they are New Zealanders and they are experts in the field of social justice, of income inequality, the effects on all sorts of things. And then there are 14 other people who've written 1 or 2 page commentaries on what's going on. But it paints a very bleak picture for New Zealand, which is why it's called the New Zealand Crisis.
What is Closing the Gap then?
Closing the Gap is the, if you like, the short name for an organisation called Income Equality Aotearoa New Zealand Incorporated. This was started, I guess, by me about 2 years ago after I'd read the Wilkinson and Pickett book, The Spirit Level. Wilkinson and Pickett are a couple of British epidemiologists who established, in my view, without doubt, that there is a causal relationship between income inequality and many social ills. That research has been backed up quite significantly by a number of other organisations. The latest, I guess, is, what's his name, Stiglitz, the ex-economist with the World Bank, who wrote the book The Price of Inequality, which came out about 6 months ago, and they all back up this premise of Wilkinson and Pickett. So a number of friends said, what are you going to do about it? And so we set up this website, www.closingthegap.org.nz. The purpose of the website was to try and get the information out there to people and hopefully persuade enough people of that particular cause that they would persuade their politicians, that the politicians would then adopt that more equal societies are better for all as the overriding mantra for all of their work in new laws, regulations, whatever. So far we've got about 600 supporters up and down the country. We've got a number of about 700 followers on Facebook. We've got a number of followers on Twitter. About 100 I think is the current count, and so we've had some success. Not as much as I'd have hoped though, but I would have thought get into the modern social media and the people would come tumbling in, but they didn't quite do that. There is a similar organisation in Wellington which was set up by the New Zealand Council for Christian Social Services. We decided with Closing the Gap to be secular and apolitical, and so that's why we didn't join in with them directly, but we have close links with them. Paul Barber, who's one of the writers in Inequality, the New Zealand Crisis, is the leading hand for the New Zealand Council for Christian Social Services, and he and I would be in communication probably at least once a week these days. We're also working together on trying to form, not trying, but we are forming a network of like-minded groups, because we felt there's a lot of groups in New Zealand who are trying to do something about the social ills, and they seem to be working rather independently, and we thought it would be a good idea to try and form some sort of a network, so we're having some success there too.
What are the facts about inequality in New Zealand?
They're very clear, that over the last 30 years, the top 10% have had about an 80% increase in their income. The top 1% have had a 100% increase in their income, and these figures are inflation adjusted. This is disposable income, this is after tax. The bottom 10% have had almost nothing in the way of an increase. And in fact, if you take out housing costs, they've actually gone backwards. And so the facts are very clear in terms of inequality. As to the consequences of inequality, that is the social ills, we also fare very badly. There's been a number of pieces of research on this. The OECD have done work on this. The Ministry of Social Development have also done work on this. And on many of the social issues, we perform very badly, well down towards the bottom of the list in terms of the OECD countries. There is a couple of exceptions on levels of trust, which is one of the issues. We're about halfway down, and in education, our top kids do extremely well, but our bottom kids do very badly.
What do you think can be done to change this?
I guess the first thing is about attitudes of New Zealanders, and I guess the words of John Fitzgerald Kennedy come to mind, and that is, you shouldn't ask what can your country do for you, but what can you do for your country. I guess to be more specific, something about incomes. A fair, comprehensive, progressive tax system would do something about capping the very high levels of salary. Secondly, we need to do something about the incomes of people at the bottom of the heap. And the living wage program comes to mind, where everybody gets an adequate income so that they can look after their families. For example, child poverty is not about child poverty, it's about family poverty. It's about lack of income for those people at that level. Thirdly, there has got to be, I think, the job income is probably the most effective way of distributing money within society. And so there have got to be enough well-paid jobs for all those who need them. And for those who don't have the opportunity or the facilities to go to work, there needs to be a way of making sure that those people get an adequate income so that they can look after themselves and their families.
Coming up next, we head to Matamata College. Welcome back. Congratulations must be said to Matamata College as they have won a nationwide competition, Think Water Local Hero Community Campaign, and have received $15,000. The funds will equip the school with a water tank and irrigation network to support the water supplies required to maintain the Agriculture Department's educational farm, as well as the school's gardens and playing fields. We went along to check it out. So can you tell us about what you're giving Matamata College today?
Sure. Well, basically, Think Water New Zealand decided to give something back to the community, and we asked schools around the country to put in and other community people to put in ideas of what they wanted $15,000 for, and basically Matamata come out on top with their idea for catching the water to assist them in their saving of water for the group.
So what is Think Water?
Think Water is a franchise company, but basically a group of irrigation professionals who have got together in a group to offer our clients good service and basically better pricing. Yeah.
And what was that winning element? You know, what made Matamata College that winning project?
Sure. Well, we had outside judges, and they basically went through it, looked at how the community would be affected by it and how we'd be affecting the audience, and we just liked the idea of what they presented. They had on Facebook, they got the most likes in the country, and so the judges felt they deserved to win.
Why is water storage so important?
For the school, they probably pay money for any water they use as a commercial operation, and basically for the environment, it's better to save some water and stop wasting it. So if the school can do some environmental things and save themselves some money, good on them.
And why is irrigation so important nowadays?
Well, New Zealand's been as an exporter, of course, and a lot of things we do are cropping, etc. So we need the water to grow the crops, and we need to be efficient with it. So irrigation's put in to allow people to do that.
And why does Think Water want to get involved with the schools?
Think Water's getting involved with the community. As it turned out, the school won, but we like to give back. All our people, our members around the country are part of the communities, and so we like to be part of it.
Can you tell us some of those other projects that kind of were nearly there but not quite there?
The runners-up was a very good garden to table idea in Auckland. Other schools wanted to water they had their own community gardens and wanted to water them. What else was there? There was a few other projects on sports field irrigation, hockey field irrigation, so there was quite a few.
Well, thank you very much, and all the best with handing over that big cheque. And we're also going to talk with Grundfos, and your guys are one of the major sponsors. So why did you guys want to get involved with this project?
Well, look, for us, the Local Heroes program with Think Water is really important, because water reuse is becoming such a critical element for water conservation around the world. I mean, the quality and quantity of water around the world is diminishing, so finding programs where you can reuse it, store it and reuse it is very important for us.
So why is water storage so important now?
Well, I mean, I guess the drought we had earlier this year around the Waikato, where typically we see water as being plentiful, was a really good example of why when it becomes in short supply, having it stored, we can reuse it is so critical. And I think for the college to be on board with a program like this, where the students can learn and understand the importance of water reuse and storage from an agricultural perspective is critical. So we're really happy about the outcome of the program.
Do you think that water storage and pumps go hand in hand?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got to storing the water is one thing, but if you want to reuse it, you've got to be able to transport it, and that's where the pumps come in. So it is an important part of our business, and will become more so in the future.
Well, thank you very much to the both of you, and we will go and see that big novelty check.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your entry and winning the prize. It's fantastic that we're handing over the money to a project that's going to benefit the school and also the students here. So we're delighted to be a part of this along with our partners at St George. So congratulations.
Hang on, wait. Now we're talking to the brains behind it all, the head of the Agriculture Department at Matamata College, Mr Chand. So Mr Chand, welcome to the show. And what will the $15,000 go towards?
We're going to invest this $15,000 to do this sprinkler system for this ag department. The water is going to come down from all the big buildings. It goes in a tank and then pumped down to the shed. It's going to have an automatic mister system, plus the water also goes down to these other garden plots, which is going to water the garden plots for student assessment. We had a problem in term 1 where there was drought and there was no water, so we could not finish our assessments, and now this is a good time looking for this $15,000 to get the water going. Since it is $15,000, $8,000 goes to ag. I've given $7,000 to PE, because PE, the swimming pool filtration tank needs changing, and the school did not have funds to get that done, so I had surplus of funds, so I'll give it to PE to sort their pump out. Here they're going to put a new tank in their swimming pool so boys can go swimming after school here.
So the drought has really affected your project?
Yes, term 1 we're supposed to do some standards for year 12 worth 5 level 2 credits, but because of drought we could not have any plants growing. It just went for a couple of weeks and the plants died. Council said you can't water, even you can't use a hosepipe to water plants, so we couldn't go with the assessment and the students lost 5 credits of term 1.
How do you think the larger Matamata community will benefit as well?
Since most of the students are from farming background and they have interest in farming, whatever we learn in school they actually apply in their real life. And plenty of parents are even keen on this stuff we do in school, really supportive of the things we do, and they're giving a hand to get things done. Yeah, so it goes back to the community as a whole.
Well, congratulations on your guys' win, and I'll let you go and bank that check.
You're welcome, thank you very much. Yeah.
Congratulations again to Matamata College. Just to hear Creative Tauranga. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. There are many exciting shows and exhibitions on at the moment in Tauranga, and even more coming up. I caught up with the ladies from Creative Tauranga to find out more. So what is happening in Tauranga this month, ladies?
Goodness, what isn't happening? It's the month of July and we seem to be overwhelmed with fantastic creative industry going on everywhere really. So I suppose the month of July is Harry McCleary's 30th birthday, so that's big news around the country and overseas. There is a Harry McCleary stage show coming to Bay Court this month, so if you've got littlies, it's well worth getting along to see that. All of the galleries seem to have magnificent exhibitions happening this month. We've got Gallery 59 with their Tooth and Claw is happening. We've got Lightwave Gallery over on Totara Street with their exhibition this month. We've got the Tauranga Society of Artists out of Bay Court Exhibition Hall this weekend.
The Tauranga Girls College Art Fest is kicking in for their whole month of creativity with lots of events happening throughout the Tauranga region. Filming, stage challenge.
Gosh, Ocean Books have partnered with Paper Plus, and they have got, that's a magnificent calendar happening this month where they're actually appearing in the bookshops. You can meet the authors. They're selling all the local writers' books. I bought a stack of them. They're really good reading. So we've got a calendar of those events on our magazine, which you can download off the website or pick up from Creative Tauranga. Or really the magazine's just overfloating, as my son would say, with lots of really fabulous events this month here in Tauranga.
And because the Wicked show's coming, there's quite a lot of theatre around at the moment, isn't there?
I know. I had the pleasure of interviewing some of the crew from, or cast from Wicked, so tickets are available for that now, and that's a stunning show. And, you know, one of the longest running on Broadway, I believe. And our very own Jay Lagaya from New Zealand is the wizard. So that's going to be a very interesting show. That's in September, but there's tickets are selling hot now.
I've got my tickets.
You got your tickets?
I'm off.
I've got mine. And we've got Calendar Girls is starting at 16th Avenue Theatre at the end of the month, so I think they'll do a fantastic production there. We've got Grease coming up locally.
Oh my gosh, we've got Tarnish Rocks and Divas.
Yes. How could we forget?
Oh my gosh. Counting down, really limited amount of tickets left. Opening on the 28th of August. Rehearsals are going amazingly, and yeah.
Yeah, we are. We're selling out of those. So other news for our viewers is that we are now an Event Finder ticket booth. So if you wanted tickets to any Event Finder festival or event, whatever's on their website, you can actually pop into Creative Tauranga now and purchase your tickets. So that's been an exciting move for us.
It has, and you get fantastic service.
What's happening this month at the gallery?
We have got a fantastic exhibition, Hilary, in the gallery at the moment. It's Inhaling the Spirit New Zealand, and it's a collective duo from India, Lipika Sen and Prajot. And we're very excited here in Creative Tauranga because it's never been shown before in New Zealand. This is the first time. It's only been shown in New Zealand in High Commission in New Delhi, and then Lipika actually became a friend of Creative Tauranga and just started talking to Angela, our gallery curator, and they got talking, and next minute they're bringing in the exhibition, and it's really worth a look. We love it. It's beautiful, stunning colours. The viewers will probably be able to see some at the back. Yeah, so we're very excited about that.
That finishes on the 16th of July, so who's coming in after that?
After that, we've got the Arataki Art Society coming in, and that's a collective group of artists. And there's a very cool story about the art group in our latest Creative Beat. And if the viewers want to download it or get a copy, just contact us, because there's a really, really neat story about them, how they've been going for so many years.
Tracy, it seems like Greeton's a little bit of a hot spot at the moment.
It is a bit of a hot spot, actually. We've got yarn bombing going on out there at the moment, and it looks fantastic. There's trees and all sorts of pieces of sort of your usual everyday landscape furniture, I suppose, being bombed with yarn. So it's very exciting. Yeah. And on the 19th of July, they've got a Luminart show coming up out there. Now, that's from 6:30 in the evening, and it's, fire poi, lantern making and displays, all that sort of thing around light. It's really quite something to see. So, yeah, be worth getting along to that one.
And tell us more about the Moa Pack series.
Yes, well, I attended all of the Moa Pack summer series at Coronation Park. That was fantastic. So it's a lot of local musicians. They just get out there, they put on a free concert. It's held now at Moa Pack on Totara Street. So you just rock along, take your own refreshments. They had over 200 people there last Saturday night. So 27th of July, get along. It's from about 5 o'clock. It's fantastic. It's local musicians. It's got a really nice vibe. Moa Pack's really comfortable. It's just really nice to support our local musicians. They just want, someone to listen to them.
Yeah.
Visit creativetauranga.org.nz to find out about any of those events. That is the news for today. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook, let us know your views. If you have news including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back again tomorrow night with more guests from in and around the regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.